It's been said and ingrained in us that either you are a spiritual person or you are a rich, wealthy, successful person. One or the other, and the two shall never cross. That, my friends, is not only incorrect, it's completely bogus. It's old school. It's an old way of thinking. It doesn't work today in today's world and for today's conscious person. You can be kind, generous, loving, balanced, and spiritual, and really, really rich. And my highest recommendation is that you do all of it. So each of us has a personal money blueprint already ingrained in our subconscious mind, and it is this blueprint that will determine your financial life. Your money blueprint is basically how you think around money, success, wealth, and rich people. Bottom line, your money blueprint will determine your financial life. It is the root of your success, mediocrity, or failure. If you are not using spiritual laws, you are missing out on the highest level of wisdom. When you ride on the ship, on the wind of the spirit, on the wind of the universe, and use the universe's power, you will naturally succeed. I want to share with you something called the process of manifestation, or how we create our results. Your thoughts lead to your feelings, which lead to your actions, and all of that leads to your results. Each of us has a personal money and success blueprint already ingrained in our subconscious mind. And my friends, it is this blueprint, more than anything and everything else combined. You can be the best at your job. You can know everything about real estate. You can know everything about stocks and bonds and other kinds of investments. You can have years of financial experience. You can already be retired or close to it. But if your subconscious money blueprint isn't preset for a high level of success, you will never amass a large amount of money. And if by chance you do, you will somehow manage to lose it. You've heard of somebody by the name of Donald Trump, multi-billionaire. He loses everything and more. 2 years later, he's got it all back again and more. Why? Because his money blueprint is preset for high. On the other side of the coin, we have lottery winners. We've all heard the stories, yes? They win $5, $10, $50, $100 million. 5 years later, virtually half of them are right back to where they started. Why? Their money blueprint is set for low. Let's talk about how your blueprint is formed. The blueprint is formed primarily based on the programming you received in the past, especially as a young child. Who are some of the primary sources of this information? Parents, good. Who else? Authority figures, siblings. Who else?
Teachers.
Yes, teachers, religious leaders, media, culture, friends. Thank you. Take culture. Isn't it true that certain cultures have a certain way of thinking and dealing with money? Yes. Other cultures have a completely different way of thinking and dealing with money? Yes. The fact is we are all taught how to do money. And the issue is that most of us were taught by people who either didn't have a lot of money or they had a lot of emotional issues around it. And their ways of thinking became our ways of thinking. All right, let's talk about how we're conditioned. 3 primary methods of conditioning. There's verbal programming, there's modeling, and there's specific incidents. Verbal programming. That's all about what did you hear when you were young? What messages did you get? Modeling. That's all about what did you see when you were young? And specific incidents. What did you experience when you were young around money, success, wealth, and rich people? Let's start with verbal programming. What were the phrases or messages that you heard about money and success and rich people when you were growing up? Money is the root of all evil. Excellent. We got one there. Rich people are greedy. You have to work hard to make money. That's a really popular one. You can't be rich and spiritual. Money doesn't buy happiness. Money doesn't bring love. How about this one? Money doesn't grow on trees. We can't afford it. In addition to the generic messages that we heard, we also heard about stereotype messages. For example, if you're a man, maybe the message that you somehow got was that your job in life is to be a provider. And if you're not financially successful, you're not a real man. Now, whether you became financially successful or not, How has it felt to have that pressure on you? What have you missed out of in your life? Your family, your fun, your inner peace, because of the stress of what you were conditioned to believe about putting bread on the table. And yet, this is simply a blueprint. Okay, so let's take a look at success. Well, most people want it, right? But have you noticed that most people don't achieve the level of success that they really desire? Why is that? Well, in most cases, it's because they are missing one or more of the three. How many? 3 parts in the success formula. Well, what is the success formula? Here it is. It is RK plus RY plus RV equals success. Okay, let's break it down. So what is RK? RK stands for right knowledge, meaning how knowledgeable are you in business in general, as well as your expertise in your specific field. Okay, well, what about RY? And RY stands for the right you, meaning do you have the right beliefs, the right attitude, the right habits, and the right character to succeed. And then finally, you have RV, and that stands for right vehicle. Are you in a vehicle that is in high demand? And just as important, does this vehicle express who you really are? All 3 parts of the formula are extremely important. However, today, we're going to focus on a part that seems to be a huge problem for an awful lot of people, and that is RV, the right vehicle. A business or career that will not only succeed financially, but will also make you happy. And the secret is that the vehicle that you choose has to be the right fit. What's the word? Fit for you. The business or career that you choose has to fit you specifically too. And this, my friends, is one of the biggest problems most people have. Their business or job doesn't fit who they really are. So they end up with no passion, no meaning, and a lot of frustration in their life. Then they either stay in the situation for years and years and continue to stick it out because they have to pay the bills, of course, or they constantly jump from one situation to another, searching for that right opportunity that will not only make them happy, but good money too. Does this ring a bell for anybody that you might know? Maybe even someone sitting in your chair right now? You know what? It sure does for me, because this was one of my biggest challenges that I ever had in my entire life myself. You know, as some of you might know, I actually had 14 different jobs and 12 different businesses in just 10 years, searching for the right work, looking for the hottest new businesses and the upcoming trends, trying anything and everything where I thought I could actually make my fortune, and hopefully quickly. And even though I was sure this was the route to happiness and success, I ended up with little money, little meaning, and little fulfillment. It wasn't until I stopped looking at outside opportunities and I started looking inside that my life changed, and for the first time, I started to get really clear. And what I found out was that what I was searching for was not outside of me, it was inside of me. And that I didn't need to figure it out, I had to let it out. I had to let out what was inside of me, express who I was, and share my gifts. Money and spirituality. The more spiritual you are, the richer you can and should be. You use those spiritual principles in order to enhance your success. And I'll say this right now, listen closely. If you want to get rich, if you want to have a lot of money, stop focusing on money. I said it. Money is a result. Wealth is a result. It's a result of adding to people's lives.